Thought you might want to see me sharpen these Sensei curve shears. These are, I assume they're dog grooming shears. I went on the internet and looked them up. They're $159 shears, so they're not really high end. But whoever sharpened them last has taken off a lot of metal. And they're just not sharp. They just don't have much of an edge to them, and I'm seeing the angle sort of changes as it goes along, and plus the tip is darkened, so they probably overheated the tip. So I imagine these were, and the ride line's gone. So let's see if I can get these to working the value of a $159 shear. So I haven't done anything to the ride line yet. I'll work that in a minute, but I'm just curious to know what the angle is on these now, because I'm going to have to increase this angle. You're going to get to see me use my curve adapter here with this, but I don't have to use a curve adapter on the blade that's curving in toward me. So I'm going to guess, I'm set at 35 already, so let's see. How far are we from 35? Yeah, it's not 35. Let's just see what it is. And the way I'm doing the scratch is, I'll let you see what I'm doing. See how the red's not removed at the edge? Getting close to it, but it's not there yet. So it was set at 35. I'm going to move it down to 25. That looks like it's in between. Looks like it was done at 30. Yeah, probably 30. So let's up it to 35 since it is a dog groomer. If it was a stylist, I'd probably up it to 40. And as I said, I'm assuming it's a dog groomer. So my first thing is I want to do the ride line. And for that, I'm using my arc hones. See, it's got an arc at the top, arc at the bottom, so I can get both. I have them two different grit. This is a 2000 grit. This is a 1000. I think for these, the 1000 is going to be what I want because there's no ride line here. So I have to kind of reestablish the ride line. So I'm going to put this in water. And just sort of going on the inside. Now I'm kind of a little bit more pressure toward the edge so that I can more approximate the ride line, which, as you know, if you're watching my other videos, and I got a bunch of videos on ride lines and what have you, the shear actually goes like this with a little bit of curve to it. I might go ahead and work this part back in here with my flat side, because that's the only spot that is flat. And I've got a ride line. Okay. Now I'm going to work this side of my arc hone. Get that flattened a little bit. And I could go back with my 2000 grit if I wanted to. I don't know if I need to. We'll see. Now the interesting thing is these actually cut before I sharpened them, because I always test them first. Took the advantage of taking them apart, so this wouldn't be a long video. But they're really rough. I think they probably sent them to me because they just didn't like the way they felt. Wonder if I ought to up them to 40. Let's up them to 40. Because they're probably sending them to me just to make them, have them a little bit sharper. It's hard to know when you're not talking to the customer. If the customer was here, that would be different. But they're not. So I'm going to be coming in here. This is a pretty aggressive grit. I've got a 400. See, I'm not close to the edge. And I'm not trying to convex them. I'm just trying to get the edge to them. Yeah. I think I'm just going to go back down to 35. That's going to take forever. And the 35 will be an improvement, especially since I'll be going a little smoother. And they'll have a ride line. Yeah, I'm not there yet. Let's crank this thing up. Give it a little water so it doesn't overheat. Nope, not there yet, even at 35. Oh, got a burr. Burr, burr, burr. None. A little bit at the end, but not right here in the middle, and that's typical. That's where people usually miss the burr on these things. Still not right there. Got a burr. Let's go to something finer because that's pretty aggressive. Let's see what I've got here. It's a 1500. That's a big jump from one to the other. That's probably too much of a jump, but let's see what it looks like. That one's pretty good. Oh, I should have showed you before. Let's wipe this red off and let you see the before. So you can see how rough this looks. Actually, the little red left behind might help you see even better. See how rough it looked? Yeah. I'm gonna like these when these are done. Now, on this blade, I can't use this one. Let's see. This is enough of a grip. See, this is my curve adapter. Now this is 7.5. This is about the maximum size we can use with the curve adapter. If we get up to an 8, it starts hitting on this side. No, I gotta have something a lot more aggressive than that. I don't even know what this is. Oh, it's a Warren 800. Let's cut out a Warren 100. I like to go slower on this one just to make sure. must have done these really blunt, because I'm not near the edge. Starting maybe there, but not there. Nope. That blade's getting warm. I forget to put this on. It gives me a little bit of safety. Plus, if the blade gets warm, it protects my fingers and it keeps my hands a little cleaner. This is my sharpening glove. I think they're about $10 on our website. Got it here to here. Don't have it there, but getting close. Getting close. But I still start up here, even though I need the burr down there. I'll start up here so that it's all blended together. And then I kind of slow down. Have it right there. Don't have the tip. Not yet. Tilt it on down in your clamp a little bit more. Nope. Don't want it to overheat. It's like this much space, there's no burr. Just right there. Got it. Got it, got it, got it, got it. You know, that looks sufficiently shiny. I don't know if I'm going to go to a finer grit. I think I can just put it together and cut that burr off. And then smooth it with my arc hones. So let's put it together. I want you to notice the dexterity I have, even using these gloves. Yeah, if I don't talk loud enough, please put it in the comments. I had someone say I need a mic, and I think the problem my problem is I forget that I'm talking to you. I'm kind of talking to myself, and I'm not necessarily turning my mouth and looking at the camera. And normally I have a pretty loud voice, but if I'm kind of dealing with a problem and if I'm unsure of myself, then I might talk a little bit lower. My granddaughter tends to mumble if she really doesn't want me to hear what she has to say. So it's sort of that sort of thing. Let's see. Where's my UFO tool? I just had it here. I have a multitude of different styles. This is the one that looks like a fish. Okay, I heard it click when I kind of check its adjustment without closing it. Just see what that feels like. And then I'll cut this burr off with a paper towel. A little bit more, a little bit more, and all the way down. You see how I actually kind of squeezed the blades together. And I like to just go over it a little bit with a nail buffer in case I've left anything behind. That usually knocks it off. Okay, double check my adjustment. A little bit on the tight side, but I think that'll do. Oh, they feel better. Probably sound better. I should have had you hear them before I sharpened them. Alright, let's see how they cut dry, and then I'll try them wet. Dry. Nice. Always double check the tip. I see a little teeny gap between the two blades on the tip. So I'm going to take care of that. That may have been there before. I'm sorry I wasn't observant enough to notice. Those cut nice. Let's see how let's clean them off with the alcohol first. Get all the red Sharpie off. And let's figure out that tip. I have three options. One is I can bend the handle and run the risk of it breaking. I think this handle will bend pretty well. I can tell this is a two-piece shear. I'll show you. It's pretty obvious on this one. See where the metal actually changes? Right there. So that tells me the handle will probably bend easy, especially since it's a butterfly handle. I could shorten it at the tip, or I could trim the bumper. That bumper, I don't like the way that bumper feels. Feels like it's about ready to pop out anyway. My first thought was to shorten it because that tip is too pointy. And I could do that too, but I'm going to take a look at this bumper and maybe replace it with a pull-through bumper. Oh, this is a screw-in bumper. What have they got in here? Yeah, it is a screw-in bumper. It looked like one of those hard bumpers. Interesting. Well, I'll just tighten it more. I think it wasn't screwed in all the way. So I put these rings back in. Don't take these rings out unless you have to. I've been in a shop where I took the rings out just to be a little bit careful and clean them. And then they broke. And then I didn't have a replacement ring. You can always kind of go in here and clean up around. Oh, you can't see what I'm talking about. Clean up around and maybe get some of the grime out without popping them out. Alright, when I screwed that in tighter, now the tips came together. And and yep, they're together. And I'm good to go. Just a little bit of oil, and these go back to the customer. Now, any of the tools you saw me use here, from the Cymec, which is the machine that I sell, to the magnifier, to the curve adapter, to the abrasives, even to the fake hair that I'm going to use to make sure it does cut well at the tip, which it does. We sell these on our website, so be sure and check out our website. I have a blog there too with a lot of good information, and I think you might enjoy it. So thanks for watching through this. This is a Sensei Rev Curve Shear.